Shalom. Before I get started, as always, I want to give all praise to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone while I learn this truth. Peace and blessings and salutations to the elect up there scattered abroad, pushing this truth on the four corners of the earth, risking their lives and freedom to do so. It's the brother Tazamak, coming back with a quick lesson. I'm going to call this lesson, such as for the captivity to the captivity. And I'm going to be going into how these devils are getting ready to come down with great wrath. Okay, and they're going to result to being carnal. That's going to be their last resort. So with that being said, they're going to throw everything at us. You know, they got a saying, throw everything at you but the kitchen sink. They're going to literally come at us with everything they got. And it's going to be a great time of tribulation out here. Okay, I'm going to talk about them trying to put brothers in concentration camps and these demons in general, you know, because the 2/3, that's what it's for, to punish the wicked of our nation. The heathens are going to get caught up in it as well, but judgment is going to start at the house of the Most High, like it talks about in the book of 1 Peter. Okay, so you're going to have, you know, some brothers are going to get caught in it. If that's part of your story, that's part of your story. We're going to take it on the chin. Yes, it's going to be a time of great testing, but the Lord's going to be with it. Is going to be with us. All right, and you're going to have everybody else getting caught up in Jacob's trouble. They're gonna be running into houses, looting people, tearing up malls and stuff, arsons, dead bodies all over the place. It's gonna be a lot going on. It's not gonna just be you get thrown into a concentration camp and then the missiles come. And for some people it might be like that, but it's not gonna be pleasant in that concentration camp. Okay, to say like the first month or two you on a run, you think you're doing something, nothing ain't happened to you, and then you go into a concentration camp and the missiles come. No. If that is your story, if you're a 2/3 and you on the run and they get you and put you into a concentration camp, they're gonna torture your ass. And you're gonna be going through hell because you're not gonna have Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. The benefit that we're gonna have over everybody is we have a personal, intimate relationship with Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, man. And nobody can take that away from us. That's what's going to keep us sustained. Number one, that. Number two, that comes with this wisdom, knowledge, understanding. Isaiah the 33rd chapter. Imagine, you know, a scenario like this, but, you know, obviously during Jacob's trouble, our clothes is going to be more beat up, but an angel of the Lord comes and does something miraculous for us. Like let us out of prison. Bring us provisions. Have the guards stay asleep. You know? Like previous accounts in the scriptures. Teleport us out of the prison. Everybody else that was scoffing and scorning in the prison get to see us get took it out. Took it out the prison. Okay, and they're gonna know like, damn, they gotta be getting saved because shit, you know? But that's the type of things that the Lord is gonna do for his men. They're gonna realize that we wasn't the crazy bums on the corner and their ass is gonna be getting torn up. Okay? It's 10 people in a room. They grab 9 of them and say, all right, you know, let's leave this dude. Let's come back tomorrow. You know, they go torture the hell out of them. When they come back to get you, you ain't there. The Lord made a way for you to escape the situation. You know? And like brothers always say, if it's your lot to be martyred for this truth, then it's your lot to be martyred. And that's an honor, man. That's an honor. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and get some precepts. I'm going to start off in the book of Revelation, the 12th chapter. And I'm going to go to the 12th verse. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil has come down, the devil, Esau Edom. Okay? It's not an actual guy with a red pitchfork. Esau Edom, that's what it's talking about. Okay, the devil you see on TV daily. Okay, with the politicians. You know? Which the majority of them is Edomites, but the elite bakers. Okay? Those are the devil. They're going to come down with great wrath because they know that their rulership is over. They've been living real good. Real good. So they're going to have to get carnal. That's the only thing that they're going to be left with. It says, for the devil has come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time to what? The short time to keep ruling. These devils know it's over. A brother just dropped a lesson and said that the United States is, I think it's called insolvable, meaning that, and Salaki if I messed the word up, but meaning that the U.S. debt can't even be paid off no more. So they're going to purposely crash the system to bring in this new monetized system for the New World Order. Okay, and that's going to fail. They're only going to get so far with Revelation, the 13th chapter, before the Lord come and get their ass. But they're moving like hell to get it done because they know that their reign is about to be over. So they're going to have to come down with great wrath, which we're prepared. We're prepared in the spirit. We're not like everybody else saying put up $1 million. We're prepared in the spirit. I'm going to get this next. In Revelation, the 2nd chapter. And I'm going to go to the 10th verse. Yahawashi speaking. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Okay, it's going to be a great time of suffering. Okay, but we're going to be all right. We're going to have Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahawashi. The Lord's saying, don't fear. Okay, the Lord's going to be with us. And that's comforting in itself. You know, wisdom and knowledge, the scriptures is going to keep us stable, you know, as well. Wisdom and knowledge should be the stability at our times. Everybody else is not going to know what's going on. They're going to be bugging out. Why the hell is this happening? What happens next? You know, what's the end result of this? We got all those answers. Okay? It says, behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that you may be tried. Those concentration camps. All right? Those concentration camps, they're converting all these different buildings and warehouses into concentration camps. It says, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. It's going to be a great time of testing, man. A great time of testing. A great time of distress. Okay? Because when you go up, like I just had, it says that you may be tried. So we're going to have to literally prove our loyalty to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahawashi. Prove our faithfulness, man. For the elect, that's not going to be a big deal. Everybody else that catches tribulation, they're going to fold, and chances are they already have folded before they got in the concentration camp and bending the knee to this Esau, to this New World Order system. The jokes are going to be on them. It says that ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful in the death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Okay, and it's going to be a period of time. It could be longer than that. It could be shorter. But it's going to be a season, okay, if you got to be in there. And it could be 2-3 days. The Lord gets you out, you know. But the main thing is to have the faith, and the goal is to get that crown of life, man. That crown of life, you know. Talk about Yahawashi is going to put crowns on our head. That's the goal, graduation day. That's what we really want. But we're going to have to be tried. We're going to have to go through tribulation. But the elect is going to make it through. That's the most important part. The elect is going to make it through. Even if some of us got to be martyred for our faith. I'm going to get this next in the book of Zechariah. This is Zechariah 14:2. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the house is rifled, and the woman ravished. And it says, you know, when you go up, it says, for I will gather all nations against Jerusalem, because it's a people before it's a place, man. And that's what's getting ready to go down, man. You're going to have these martial law troops breaking into houses, okay? These foreign troops breaking into houses, because it says the house is rifled and the woman ravished. They're going to be looting these houses. Okay, the G word, grape, these women, okay? And they ain't going to be caring about ages either, or gender. These people are sick, man. Okay, but these women is going to get it good. And it's not just, yes, the Israelite woman is going to have to get her ass jacked up, especially the black woman, her dumb ass. Okay, because you see how wicked she is. All the majority of these women bite off of her now and try to be like her, you know, because she's the boss. But the heathen is going to get it too. They think they might be safe because they got money and live in a posh neighborhood. Man, y'all can get it too, man. Okay? The heathen is going to get caught up in Jacob's show, but judgment is going to start first at the house of the Most High. Okay? Judgment is going to start first at the house of the Most High. And like I said, they're going to be looting houses and the G word, the women. Okay? And it says, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity, the concentration camps. And the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city, because you're going to have survivors out here that get thrown into the concentration camps, and the rest of the people is going to be put to death, man. They're going to take the people they want in the concentration camps, and the rest of the people they're going to put down. They're not just about to let you run around freely, go to Disneyland, go eat ice cream, go home with your wife and have a movie night. They're going to kill y'all, man. Whoever ain't of the elect is going to get put down out here. There ain't no magical ending. The only magical ending is going to be for us. All right? I'm going to get this next in the book of Jeremiah. I almost said it in Hebrew, Jeremiah. But, yeah, I'm going to the book of Jeremiah. And I'm going to start at verse, and I'm going to go to chapter 15 and start at verse 2. And it says, and it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, whither shall we go forth? Then thou shalt tell them, thus say Yahweh, such as are for death to death, and such as for the sword to the sword, different type of judgments that's going to be happening. Okay, whatever the Lord has destined for you to happen is going to happen. Whatever judgment the Lord has set up for you to happen is going to happen. Whether it be, it says death to death, because Babylon the Great in the scriptures is a shadow of death. Okay, they poison the food, they put chemtrails, but it's going to be more direct coming soon, man. You're going to have Esau standing right in front of you trying to kill your ass, And it says, it's such as for the sword to the sword. The modern day sword is the gun. It also represents destruction. And who is the sword of the Heavenly Father? Esau. Okay? It's going to be all kind of judgments coming out here. You could get put down with a gun. You could get starved to death. Okay, because it says it right here. It's such as for the famine to the famine. Okay, so food shortages are coming too. Whatever judgment the Lord has destined for you to have, that's what's going to happen to you 2/3. Because like I said, even though brothers are going to be going through things too during the time of testing, we're going to be all right. We got the Lord. And it says it's such as for the captivity to the captivity. And that's the point I wanted to get right here, the captivity, the concentration camps. People are going to be going literally crazy in these camps, not knowing what to do, not knowing why they're there. They had a good record their whole lives, but what about the record with Yahweh Bashim Yahushua? That's the record that matters. And yes, we have to follow the laws of the land, but which one is more important? Not saying just to break Esau's law, because it's not. You got to move with wisdom, but the Lord's laws is over all this, man. The righteous laws. Jeremiah 15:3. And I will appoint over them 4 kinds, say Yahweh. The sword to slay, and the dogs to tear. And we just got the sword. The modern day sword is the gun. Okay? And the dogs to tear. Because you're going to have actual animals coming out here tearing people up too. Like the police dogs, but even more fierce. Lions, bears. It talks about that in the book of Job, that they're going to be at peace with the men of the Lord. It says, the fowls of the heaven and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy. You see, and it goes more in depth. It's not going to just be dogs. It's not going to just be the sword. You will have wild animals out here. People walking around with guns, killing people. Martial law troops, foreign troops, militia groups, famine going on, pestilence. These are different kind of judgments that's getting ready to hit Jake. Okay, and these heathens are going to get caught up in it as well. I'm going to get ready to close in the book of Acts. This is Acts 5 and 17. I'm going to start at verse 17. It says, then the high priest rose up, and all they that were with them, which is in the sect of the Sadducees, and were filled with indignation. They were jealous. Okay? They were jealous on the apostles from them converting, basically new believers. They were teaching about the resurrection. Okay, they was teaching that because they end up getting the ability to be able to speak in tongues as well by the way of the Rakakwadash. So the scribes and Pharisees was hating because they was against that doctrine that they were teaching. Okay, so then filling with jealousy, let's see what happens. Verse 18, Acts 5 and 18. And laid their hands on the apostles and put them in common prison. Okay, so they threw them in jail. Like you got the county jail here, they threw them in the jail or in the prison because they was hating on them, and they felt like they were losing their influence. The same thing is going to happen in today's time. You don't think Esau is pissed off at us? You don't think these devils is mad at us and they're going to throw us in prison? Yes. Okay, we got the sentence of death in us, like it talks about in the scriptures. This truth. All right, so they're going to try to throw us in prison, try to have us be some brothers be martyrs. That's the things that are coming. Verse 19, Acts 5 and 19. But the angel of Yahweh by night opened the prison doors, and brought them forth, and said, "Go, stand and speak in the temple to the people all the words of this life." The angel basically said, all right, let's go. Let's go back out there and get back to doing the work. Get back to teaching people. Get back to teaching about the resurrection. Get back to teaching the gospel. They was about to get back to doing the work and doing the miracles. And the next day when they went to go look for him, I'm not going to get it, they wasn't even in there. They was like, what the hell? They was baffled. But that's the type of things that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is going to do for his servants, man. Miracles like that and even greater. Okay? Because everything is going to be amplified in this time. The judgments and the miracles. Lord's will, this was an edifying lesson with that. I'm going to say shalom.